What's up, Flames? I'm Dot, and you're watching the Fire Love Podcast YouTube channel. On our channel, we do a combination of videos, but today you'll actually be watching a clip it from our podcast. We're going to be talking about what it's like waiting to start a family. So if you like what you hear, you want to hear more, make sure you subscribe and definitely like.
I'm in love with the love of my life, making a life full of love. Yeah. I'm in love with the love of my life, making a life full of love.
Welcome to the Fire Love Podcast. As always, it's your girl Dot.
And it's your boy Nate.
And we're here to make love lit. Babe, you missed it. You're supposed to come in with me and say make love lit.
I know, that's why I did this.
We gotta do it again. Okay, I'm Dot.
And it's your boy Nate.
And we're here to make love lit. Okay, whatever it is. I've been trying to tell y'all we've been working on that. We have been working on that. How are you, babe?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling extremely amazing.
Amazing?
Yeah.
That's a word you haven't said often on the podcast. Why are you feeling amazing?
Well, I've been day 12 eating healthy, trying to stay in the right positive space and eating healthy. And eating healthy has changed my mood. It has pretty much changed everything. Like, make me happy. I wake up happy. I'm excited about life, and I just want to keep pursuing everything that I wanted to pursue in life. I want to be successful. So when you want to be successful, you got to do things. You got to change your habits.
Okay.
So I'm excited. I'm happy. So how about yourself? How do you feel?
I feel good. I had to have a moment of reflection and take a step back and slow things down. At the top of the year, I felt myself falling into all the patterns that were in place prior to the pandemic. I think there was a lot of excitement because things were back open. We had a lot more freedom, and I was just saying yes, yes, I'll do it. Yes, I'll be there. Yes. But I promised myself in the pandemic to be a lot more selective with my yeses and to slow down. In the pandemic, I think we all had a moment of what were we so busy doing? Because when we sat there, we were like, yo, I was busy doing nothingness. So I'm in a show, and that has me super excited. You guys know that I'm in LA, and I'm pursuing acting. And sometimes it can be really discouraging when you aren't booking consistently, but theater is my first love. I love the theater, and I'm there, which means I'm acting every night. I have 12 shows coming up. So I'm feeling good. So if you're new to listening to the podcast, at the top of every episode, we always play a fun game of Flames, Flicker, Smoke. That's when we either talk about a couple or a topic and we rate it. So online has just been out of control lately. Honestly, it's too much. I don't even know who's giving people these platforms to talk on relationships. I have to tell you about this one. So some girl, I actually don't remember the name of the podcast, but I know that the Shade Room.
Oh, she has a podcast.
She was on somebody's podcast. Everybody got a podcast now. We're going to get into that in a second too.
Okay.
We're going to get into that because everybody and their mama got a podcast now. But this young lady said that men with no money tend to date big girls. And I got to hear, is that the truth, babe?
I can't speak for everybody. I don't think it's true. I think that's just someone that's just insecure, or something must have happened to that individual to make her feel like this is the reason why men date big girls.
That's how I feel too.
For me, I've dated, I don't want to say big girls. I don't want to disrespect females in the past that I used to date. But me, I don't like skinny girls. I'm going to be real. I don't not like skinny girls. So I always used to like thick girls, big bone. I love meat, you know what I'm saying? So I love to feel something when I touch.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So skinny girls is not my vibe. I'm gonna be
vibe.
real. I'm gonna keep it a buck. But
so basically you're saying her opinion is smoke. It is.
It's a smoke. It's a strong smoke.
It's a strong smoke.
People tend to say things when they, you was better off saying, man, you was better off keeping it real and just saying somebody
hurt
left
me
for a big girl or a thick girl. You was
Fair.
better off saying that
Fair.
than to just
And that's
going to
fair.
social media and make it seem like, oh, and then that's like a threat. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Saying that you making other females feel like, you know, that are big boned or big, that you make them feel like they don't deserve love. No, trust
Yeah.
me, everybody deserves love.
Yeah.
There's a man out there for you. You know what I'm saying?
So I definitely think it's a smoke too. I'm like, who hurt you, sis? Like, I feel like a person that comes to that conclusion is just so confused why they're single. And
Yeah.
they're coming up with anything like, you know what? It's because he ain't have money. He only like big girls. Or like, I just think people get so hurt when they are single that they want to find answers. And that's the answer she came up with. It's like, whatever lie you need to tell yourself, sis. But bigger girls, thicker girls are some men's preferences. So, and I don't know if she was trying to say like guys with money get more attractive girls. Maybe that's what she was trying to say. I'm not sure. Came off wrong, and we're deading it. But on to this feeling of like everyone having a podcast. So this entire episode is just going to be full of transparency and honesty because that's all we know how to do. We haven't released an episode in a really long time, and it has been because we've been discouraged. You guys know we've had this podcast for 3 going on 4 years, and we feel like the podcast world is getting even more oversaturated because it seems to almost be this new emergence of podcasts. When we started our podcast, there were a lot of podcasts, and then it kind of died down and we were still recording. And then now it's like podcasts are popping up all over, and it can be a bit discouraging because these are people who already have larger platforms. So it seems like their podcast is doing better, but their podcast is more visible, but their podcast is not giving the content or the information that we're sharing. I mean, they're on their podcast talking about big girls, the guys only like them because they have no money. So I finally was like, I'm sick of this. Babe, the people need to hear the real.
Oh man, like I'm gonna be real. Podcast is basically a place where you express your feeling, you express your opinion on something, or you talk about, you know, life changes or like a topic that someone can relate to. Let's be real. It's like a therapy, right? You go somewhere, you want to go listen to a podcast that you know that attracts you, that fits your soul, you know what I mean? But like this new generation it's just a new generation we're living in now. Everybody's just trying to figure out what they want to do. Some people wake up and say, I want to do a podcast, and they do it. Some people that have a big platform, they start off being an actor and they don't no longer an actor no more. They say, yo, I want to be a rapper, or today I don't want to be a rapper no more. I want to start a podcast, and it's okay because this is the hottest thing right now, podcasts. You know what I'm saying?
But it can be a very dangerous territory because anyone can start a podcast. That means any information can be out there. And we're a podcast that's trying to promote Black love, that's trying to inspire, encourage people, and to really give y'all like literal bullet points to go out and have success in love. So it just breaks my heart that there are people who are unqualified to talk about Black love, who are spreading false narratives and making a very hard situation even harder. So no shade to anyone with a podcast. I have learned to be true to the people that listen to us and to like stop comparing us to other people. And even if our podcast never grows to millions of millions, we know that we have a few people that listen or more. We actually have more than a few people that listen, and that is our audience, and that's who we're going for. But today, I want to talk to you about something.
What do you want to talk to me about?
And it has been a topic that is very apparent in our relationship, but one that I have yet to feel comfortable speaking on the podcast.
Okay.
I want to talk about baby waiting. Not baby making. A lot of people talk about baby making. But baby waiting. I feel like it's a sensitive topic because everyone has different processes and journeys, but I also feel like not enough people talk about the process or the journey, which is why it's like so taboo. so I want to talk about it. I mean, we are a married couple. We'll be
Yes.
coming up on a year. And I think before we were even married, we were saying that we want to have kids. So the process has started.
Okay.
That's our first time saying that on the podcast.
Yeah.
So I said it.
You see, I'm cool. So, I mean,
The process has started. How are you feeling about, trying for a baby, waiting for a baby?
I think for me it's basically about being mentally prepared for it, right? I mean, you could be financially in a good situation where you could afford a kid or you could start a family, but it's really about your mental, like your mind have to be ready for that, because you have to also understand that it is no longer about you and my wife anymore. Now you got a third person in the between that's going to need a lot of attention, and that's going to need food, that's going to be crying every hour, and then you have to wake up. There's no time to sleep, first of all. So if you're a person that loves to sleep like me, whoo,
I'm worried for you, babe.
it's about getting the mind right, and I think I'm mentally prepared for it. And I think I'm always been mentally prepared for anything that comes my way. But this is something serious, and I think people take it for granted. People be like, "Oh, I want to have kids." They just like the cute stuff. They want to see how cute the kid look. Okay, the baby is cute, but when the baby start crying in the middle of the night and then talking about I want food and they gotta eat now and the baby can't sleep, then that's when you get that pressure, And of course, you got to understand the time that you used to have is no longer your time no more.
Yeah,
You have to split that attention, and then you have to what's the word I'm trying to say? Time management will be so important.
It'll be
So I'm excited. It's gonna be challenging because I'm so used to being by myself. Now that I got used to being with that. And it's like now I got to get used to having another person in around the house. So it's just like, okay, let's be prepared. Let's be ready for it.
Yeah, it's been super exciting for me because I've wanted to be a mom since I had baby dolls, since I was a kid. I wanted to be a mom before I wanted to be a wife. So for it to finally be actualized and to be happening, it seems surreal. I also grew up with never being around the people who were planning.
Okay.
Everyone always got accidentally pregnant.
Yeah,
So it was always assumed that it would be extremely easy and something that like you just say you want to get pregnant and then you have unprotected sex and then you get pregnant. So learning that that's not how it goes, that's not how it works, and learning that when you're planning, it almost seems like it takes longer. Like, oh my gosh. So it's been stressful for real, to just kind of like relax, to not overthink. And I was telling Nate, I was like, I have this whole new relationship with my menstrual cycle. Sorry if that's TMI, but it's something that you get every month and you're like, yes, like for me, like, whoo, that was a close one. Or like I have like depended on that cycle to be my saving grace in so many instances. And now it's like, I'm hoping I don't see it. I hope I don't get it. So it's all these changes that are happening. And I've had a huge shift in my thought process while we wait. And I think that this can also be related to people who are waiting for their husband or who are waiting for their boyfriend or waiting for their wife or their girlfriend. And it's like, instead of looking at this waiting period as like a literal, the truth of the matter is, my phone cut off and would not record the whole thing. But we do have the entire episode on iTunes, Spotify, and SoundCloud. And we just go on to say that the waiting period should really be a period of preparation. Don't be out here saying that you want a boyfriend or a girlfriend and you haven't already come up with a list of date nights. Don't say that you really want a baby and you haven't made the healthy decision changes that you need to make and become more conscious and start having the conversations about the type of parents that you want to be, but taking the waiting period as an opportunity to level up so that when you get what you've prayed for, you are ready to embrace it fully. The truth of the matter, waiting for anything is annoying, it's stressful, it's agonizing. It can even be depressing, but none of those things are going to get you closer to what it is that you want. So capitalize off the moment, embrace where you're at, because soon as you get what you want, what you had is going to be gone and you may be missing what you had. So again, if you like that little clip we're going to try to do more of our podcast episodes and do the full length right here on our channel. So if you like that, let us know in the comments. If you liked what you heard, please make sure you subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, or SoundCloud. This is the Fire Love Podcast.